Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Storytime with me. I'm Bucho, your storyteller. It's been kind of a meh weekend. It got cold this week. We've got Halloween coming up, and I'm trying to get some stories out to you all that are in that vein. Unfortunately, my second book, Machinery of the Heart Love Stories, that's awful fucking visual. Not a lot of horror or suspense found in this collection. The book is primarily focused on relationships between people and objects and the things that we find important to us. And so there's really nothing too horrific in the second collection that really fits the vibe of the month. But I wanted to continue sharing my published stuff with you all. So today I'm going to be reading a story called The Forgetting Muse. It's one of my more experimental stories, experimental in the way that some of the formatting looks weird on the page and can be kind of hard to read out loud in any way that makes it super understandable. So I hope this makes sense. There are a lot of parentheticals throughout the story, so if it seems like there are certain aspects of the story that you're not quite understanding, that's probably why. Because everything is laid out on the page in a different kind of way. So I hope you enjoy The Forgetting Muse. If, as one might be prone to do, you were to ask any of the previous men what she looked like, their descriptions would vary. Each nuanced difference spilling into one great and nearly unbelievable truth. One said they remembered her being silver, not silver-covered, not like jewelry, but more a feeling that she embodied the essence of silver, a shine or a gleam that seemed to blind him both inside and out while smothering him in glint and shimmer. The men all described her in abstract terms, unable to define her exactly by her physical features. They knew she was less angular and more curved, but could not in any confidence elaborate on what that meant, only that they knew the statement to be true. She's got my whole life in front of her. She knows about the food I like. Curry, kimchi, Italian. The kind I don't, hot dogs, sauerkraut, peas. And the allergies, dust, pollen, mold, stupidity. She knows I wet my bed until the age of 9, but continued to lose bladder control when I got into fights at school. She knows that I'm left-handed, mostly prefer the color black in my wardrobe, and my sleep pattern for the last 5 years. A 10-year history is preferred, but 5 is mandatory. She knows that I've been arrested, possession, that my mother smoked, Lucky Strikes unfiltered. My father drank, bourbon, the occasional vodka. And that I was abused as a child, belts, switches, the occasional bat or broken bottle. She's been provided a list of possible mental disorders or personality issues that might arise from this experience. Low self-esteem, possible bouts of depression, timidity, social isolation, suicide. In her hand, she holds my medical records, a bonography of every break and sprain. Right arm twice, right elbow once, right wrist once. Every pulled muscle, strained tricep, sciatic nerve, rotator cuff capsule, tendonitis of the bicep. And the therapies and medications prescribed for each injury. Meloxicam, upper body workouts with stretch bands, physical therapy. She has provided a comprehensive list of my lovers and exes, Donna, Linda, Faith, Samantha, Christy, Kathy, Rose, Janet, Jessica, Tabitha, Bethany, etc. Along with an annotated index of every girl or woman I've ever kissed, felt up, flirted with, everything. This list is too extensive. The diagram looks like some perverted family tree of fornication, a skeletal structure of my sexual history, and I can't decide if I'm more proud of its many branches or more horrified because she gets to see it now. She knows what I like in bed: handcuffs, biting, scratching, hair pulling, nipple play, and what I don't: butt play, oral, missionary. She knows that I snore loudest after long bouts of lovemaking, but that it's stopped easily by an elbow into my back or my side. Another said she reminded him of his first love's curves, the electric feeling of his hands exploring another's body for the first time, the first touch of her lips to his, the way his heart raced when she placed her palm on the side of his face, the way she sighed into his neck as they napped, the way she smelled like slow afternoons. He could not remember the actual woman, only that she had evoked a memory that he had forgotten long ago, and now, much to his delight, couldn't seem to forget again. Not one of the men could remember if they had touched the woman in any way, either to grip her shoulders in greeting or kiss her cheek. They could not remember if they had pulled out her chair for her or if they had tried to touch her hand across the dinner table. She has transcriptions of the conversations from my last several dates. Many of the same questions asked different ways at different points of each date. She knows that my humor is self-deprecating and used often, and that I find the most joy in making my dates smile. No idea how this is calculated, it's simply a statement on white paper. She has, organized by date, the appetizers I've chosen. Lobster bisque, bruschetta, French onion soup, banh mi sliders, samosas. The main courses, like pasta carbonara, coconut curry shrimp, cioppino, filet cooked med rare, and the desserts. Tiramisu, cheesecake, green tea ice cream, gulab jamun. She has a bar graph detailing the kinds of dates I've taken women out on. Dinner, 42%, with lunches making up 8% of that total and brunches 3%. Drinks, alcoholic, 17% where food was not involved, 22% where it was. Drinks, non-alcoholic, 36% coffee shops make for more comfortable venues for women on first dates. Physical, 5% hookups, booty calls. Sport or activity, 4% as I once took a date bowling, another to do miniature golf. She has a list of the number of times I've gone in for the kiss on a first date, 3. And the number of times my previous dates have gone in for the kiss, 1. There's the number of dates that led directly to one night or multiple night stands, 2. And the average number of dates I went on during an average month, 4. Yet another of the men came away from their meeting with the unmistakable taste of cherry on his lips, though they had not eaten any, nor had they kissed. So it wasn't some flavored gloss transfer. For weeks following, he would lick, and still the taste remained, vexing him and confounding those he had asked for advice. His dreams would come in shades of warm, soft reds, with faces of women appearing blurred and formless. Much like the others, he could not remember what she looked like, nor could he accurately describe the women that pleasantly haunted him in his sleep. The majority of men could not, on average, remember a thing about the meal that they had eaten with her. Those that couldn't remember, however, remembered eating again once they were home, inexplicably believing that no meal had occurred earlier. She has my total number of drinks consumed on dates, 94. The total dollars spent on dinner and drinks consumed and bought for every date, $1,237.65. Total cab fare spent at $512.18. Number of flowers bouquets bought, 13 single stems, 4 full bouquets. Number of shirts ruined, 7. 3 by wine spills, 1 by gravy, 2 by lipstick that would not come out, 1 from changing a blown tire. Number of wallets lost, 1. Number of wallets recovered, 0. Credit cards canceled, 8. 5 from the loss of the wallet, 3 from identity theft. Business cards and contact information exchanged, 17 times. Number of second dates confirmed, 6. Number of those who canceled or were complete no-shows, 4. And the number of dinner reservations canceled, 3. Another man left his meeting with her and for weeks after could not get the smell of rose water out of his nose. A distinct smell he didn't mind, but he lost the enjoyment of smelling a meal before eating it, sniffing a wine before drinking it, smelling a storm on the air before its arrival, the smell of his 4-year-old daughter after her nighttime bath as he put her to bed. Soon he began to appreciate the benefits of smelling only something sweet and soft. He held weak old trash up to his nose, and still the smell of rosewater remained. The smell of portable toilets at the park or concerts no longer made him nauseated. Despite this fact, he could not tell you what the woman smelled like, could not confirm that the perfume she wore was the same that had taken up permanent residence in his nose. Other men described different smells that had taken over in their lives, and still, none could definitively state where they had smelled the scent first. What she does not have in front of her splayed out on some dating service printout is how deeply I drink of a woman. How fully I immerse myself in her essence to the point that I feel like I am not waving but drowning. Thank you for that one, Stevie Smith. I gulp of her rather than that of the air, choosing to make her the last thing I taste before the black overtakes me. If I am to die, it will be a prayer of her that passes my lips and not one spun from a fear of the unknown. What she could not know is how her clavicle holds the scent of the day like a gift for me to enjoy that night, a tiny glimpse into the workings of her that I'm allowed to experience. The day arrives upon her shoulders and deep within her hair in the same manner every time. The willpower needed to simply exhale is unimaginable. I want to keep the entirety of her scent, hold it prisoner, take it with me into my own dreams. She cannot possibly know that I will watch her, silhouetted on the couch by the afternoon sun, reading or lazing about, and feel my entire body crumple from want. Sunlight will bathe her skin, and warm corona will soften her hard edges, her knees and elbows, her fingers, and gently carve her into flawless sculpted marble. It will be her smile that reminds me that her existence in that moment is real and true. It is those same warm curves my aching fingers will rest upon as her life pulses slow and steady beneath the skin as she sleeps. She does not know that she will be a slumbering lullaby composed of every sensation. For weeks after, the other men found myriad sounds buried deep inside their ears. The twinkling of softly blown wind chimes, the slow sound of grass pushing through dirt to drink the sunlight, the whisper of hummingbird wings pitched down to a gentle galloping rhythm, the not unpleasant gasp of dying starlight, the crescendo of sad symphonic strings over and over, the rustling of sunrise, the low hum of conception. They could not remember if she sang or what her voice sounded like. They could not, with any assurance, match her voice to her picture if given the chance, nor could they remember how her laugh made them feel. Times she smiled at my bad jokes, 12. Times she laughed at my good ones, 8. Number of minutes our eyes met each other, 49 minutes and 30 seconds. Number of times we broke eye contact only to return to it immediately, 18. Number of times her smile made me flush, 23. Number of times her laugh made me melt, so many. Number of times I imagined a future with her while she spoke, 7. Number of children I thought we would have, 2. Number of, you know what? I forget. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I will hope to have future episodes up at a regular basis before the end of the month. So thanks. We'll see you next time.